Okay, peoples, I finally got the Yieldmax Group B payment amounts. I had about 5 or 6 of the funds that I picked up in a Discord, but I couldn't get the official one until just a minute ago from Ymax. So I was missing BABO, which was rumored to pay really well. And in fact, it did. It beat NVDY. And also dips, which didn't do very well because Coney and Misty were moving up on Bitcoin. So that makes sense that fiat, or sorry, dips is the inverse of NVDY. I was thinking of fiat for just a minute. Sorry about that. So anyway, there's been a confluence of bunch of people, right? That when you get copycatters and you get other things going on. Um, so as you know, Roundhill is kind of the king of the weeklies, and now Defiance, with Jay being the options advisor, is working with Sylvia and others there to try and create some weekly activity. So we'll have to see how well it does. I put a video out on that, but it's a little confusing because I've been covering 6 funds and only 3 of them now are the weekly oriented where they're doing daily options. In order to pay weekly, guys, you really have to have um, a daily option. What Yieldmax did, which is what I'm going to talk about here, it was fairly creative. I give them credit for that. Although I'm not, to me, weekly, I could care less. But to those that want it, and it's clearly a majority, more power to them. So I'm glad they accommodated that. But at the end of the day, it's all about how well they pay for me, not whether they paid me weekly. Hell, if they want to give me 300% a year and do a great, great active job with their options, they can pay me once every 3 years. And I'd be happy with that. Um, so just goes to say. So anyway, we'll jump in here and we'll get these out because I've already done the Roundhill and I've done the Defiance. So on Yieldmax, just as a reminder, a lot of you guys are getting acquainted with this. So this whole grouping was solely for the purpose of Ymag and Ymax so that those distributions could be done weekly. And they're kind of the premier senior fund of funds, right? One is only 7, the MAG 7, and the other one is all the single stock funds. So it makes some sense that if you can get the 2 biggest, I shouldn't say they're the biggest because I think the largest AUM, assets under management, are really in NVDY and Misty and in Tesla. Okay, I think that Amazon AMZ is probably 4, Ymax maybe 5, and I'm sure Ymag is up there. And that's not taken into, I haven't looked at those stats for 6 weeks, so I doubt, no new fund would have taken that over, but certainly there could be some other trending funds. Okay, so given all that, let's jump in here. What did NVIDIA pay? The GOAT, sometimes it's a GOAT, a lot of times it's not. Okay, so the GOAT paid $1.09, right, on its payment. Really, call it $1.10. You can't get any higher, 1.099. All right. Facebook, Meta, they paid 92 cents. So rather than keep all the old payments like I used to before they were in groupings, I just am keeping September on the actual. And I'll start to do an estimate at some point, and I'll put my estimate. But for right now, I'm not doing that. So you had 92 from Meta. JPMO, JP Morgan, 37. So you can see the previous month. So they're down 25 cents on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is down 25 cents with the underlying being NVIDIA. Meta is, FEPI is up almost 40 cents. Wow. So JPM is down 15 cents, right? MRNY. MRNY's hanging in there, but that's if you them and ARC have got to be. I don't know what ARC's price is right at the moment, but they're the reverse uh, split candidates. MRNY is clearly getting a five is the magic number, but they're not going to wait for it to get to five. My guess, if it gets into the sixes, you'll see it. Could even happen at where it's at now or in the next month or two. GDXY 60 cents. That's been kind of the ballpark after it had an 80 cent, I think, very beginning. I was very displeased with the way GDXY has been handled. I no longer own it. I no longer cover it. I love GDX. I love precious metal miners. I think they're going to outperform the majority of stocks in the S&P 500 over the next several years, really over the next probably 4 to 6 years. Um, but I don't like the way GDX has been managed, if you want to call it managed. Spreads don't appear to be working either, but we shall see. All right. So that doesn't mean I don't love it. I love it. I just don't see. And remember, guys, I'm giving you the data, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents. Frankly, anybody that has all of their money in these income funds, to me, it's a little crazy. You really should have your money spread out. Now, your theory might be, well, I'm going to spread it out in income funds. But to me, that's a lazy way to do it. These funds are not, anybody will tell you that the underlying will certainly, in most cases, in a bull market, way outperform. So I get it sometimes if you need income, but don't take a lazy approach to income when you can have growth and income. Take 35% of your portfolio, put it in your favorite bull stocks, right? Single stocks or groups of stocks or round hill on the S&P 500. That's always a good play for multi-year investment, right? But chasing these yield oriented income funds, to me, aren't sophisticated investing. They're just one portion of someone's portfolio. I never tell you don't own them, right? All right, dip 68 cents. And remember, these things do not make a whole. Everybody got all excited, and even I was questioning whether it would work when the first one, when Crash came out to work with Tesla, right? I'm at the point now where I love Tesla, but I've sold all my Tesla. I've sold all my GDXY. I'm really not in any Yieldmax at the moment. I may be back in some. Um, Misty would probably be the only one that comes to mind. But there are just so many other ways to play 2x and leverage and write. I have the ability to write a lot of different calls and even do um, various option strategies if I want. And I just don't like the way Yieldmax is managing. Their spreads are horrible. $10 and $15 range spreads are not good use of the spread option marketplace, in my opinion. Okay, BABO, $1.29, the king. Call now, all of you that got excited. I had bought FSI, I had bought some Chinese ETFs when I saw that running. Guys, you're late to the market. If you're out here chasing this, very likely we had the beginning of it yesterday in the pre-market. I don't know where it ended up. I've stopped tracking. There's a couple of big ETF plays that have most of these Chinese stocks. I mean, the Chinese stocks were super undervalued. They took off about 2.5 weeks ago. They're up 70%, almost 100% in some of these ETFs. So what are they going to do now? They're probably going to retrace 30, maybe 40%, maybe 50%. And then they'll go where they're going to go. I'm not smart enough, or I'm not looking into where they're going to go. They're not a long term play. I jumped on, I took 25% profit in 3 days and got out, right? So I missed, 70% further. But anybody who tells you they buy at the bottom and sell at the top, it's almost impossible. You may get lucky and do it one time. So anyway, Ymax and Ymag. So again, what happens when A declares last week, okay? Then A declares, so all that money comes in, and when B declares, they declare what they're going to pay from A. So this 20 cents, 2044 that Ymax got, and 28.23 that Ymag got really came from these distribution. So next week, when we're in the Coney group and we have all of those players, then we'll be getting the distribution. My gut is we drop around 15% from what this group paid to what the group A paid. First off, there were what, two, four, six, seven. How many do we have here? Yeah, we had seven also. But I expect that these will be down a little bit with some of the payments. We shall see. I'm thinking that Ymax may be around 18 and Ymag might be around 21. That would be my estimate. 18 and 21, with the 18 being Ymax and Ymag being 21 for next week's weekly distribution. I don't have a clue yet on the group C payers, but I will. Okay, people, that's what I got. Sorry to make this longer than it probably needed to be. Again, Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Have a great day ahead. Bye for now.